What is going on, National Wrestling Shooters viewers? Cody here, and it is time once again for the Raw Rebound. Yes, we're back. I took a couple weeks off because I had Fred and Jack from Scotland. You all may know him as JH Films visit, and I kind of just wanted to take a couple weeks off from doing YouTube stuff other than matches that we're doing on the NWS Revolution channel. And back with Monday Night Raw on an episode where Ronda Rousey's suspension is lifted and Brock Lesnar shows up for once. But without further ado, and I don't think it's showing up on here. But a new logo was made for a channel. If I could find the his channel link real quick, give me comments on here, then it'll be down in the description for you guys to go subscribe to him. He's a bit of a ranter, one of the best, if not the best ranter around the area known as the YWC. Be Leon Calavera, aka Scorpion Death Drop. Scorpion Death Drop live shows and rants, I believe, is his channel name now. I'm not too sure 100%, but we have it on Monday Night Raw with Roman Reigns going out of the ring. Says, I respect Bobby Lashley, but not for Brock Lesnar. Takes a shot at him, appearing at the UFC. Paul Heyman comes up, and there's a bit of irony right here, because he said, the definition of insanity? Or let me put it to you like this. He didn't say it like this, but I'm going to put it to you like this. Have I ever told you the definition of insanity? It's repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. In this case, Roman Reigns tried to beat Brock Lesnar, which won't happen. Reigns says he's going to beat, what's it called? All right, back with that. Roman Reigns, after Paul Heyman was talking, says he's going to send him back to the UFC, not as the Beast, but as Roman's bitch. As, kind of line to end off on. But the irony is so big there. The definition of insanity, because I think last week after Roman beat Bobby, I'd seen at least a couple of Facebook pages that I've liked on Facebook say, have I ever told you the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results? And in their case, their whole thing was Roman Reigns trying to get cheered, and Roman Reigns facing Brock Lesnar again for the fourth fucking time. Just I couldn't help but crack up at the irony of that. I think I remember just thinking to myself whenever he said the definition, I'm like, just thinking, like, the irony is so much. There's so much irony right there, in that Heyman brought it up of all people, and I'm like, huh. The irony is Brock Lesnar being champion for so long, and they think that is gonna work, and people are gonna like it. No, doesn't happen that way. But then we go into Finn Balor versus Constable Baron Corbin. After WWE announces, as it was advertised last week, that we're gonna get Seth Rollins with Drew McIntyre and Natalya versus Alicia Fox. Finn Balor versus Constable Baron Corbin. These two going back and forth. My live stream was kind of like switching over, because the live stream I usually watching on my phone is Sky Sports, and it around this time, for those that watch it on the live streams from Sky Sports, you'll know that it kind of was going back and forth between I think it was soccer or football, whichever terminology you want to use, and WWE a couple times, so I couldn't watch the entirety of the match. But these two go back and forth for a little bit. Finn Balor goes for a second coup de grace attempt, but then Corbin counters into the end of days and pins Finn Balor, evening the score 1-1. Expect the tiebreaker at SummerSlam. And I'm thinking that with the post-match assault, I'm thinking we might get Demon Balor finally, to kind of end off the rivalry right there. After the match assault, I'm talking about is Baron Corbin with elbows onto the barricade. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. 4 dogs in the house. One of them won't shut up. Sorry about that. But we get on to one of a few backstage segments. They focus a lot on backstage segments and all that tonight. Weirdly enough, you get back and Heyman is on the phone. Angle chases him down and says, "Hey, if Brock doesn't show up to the ring, then your contract with WWE is terminated." After Heyman's like, "Hey, Brock showed up on Raw. He did his, he did his contractually obligated appearance. There you go. What money you want?" And it was like, "Hey, yeah, very funny. No, I mean in the ring, and if he doesn't show up to the ring, then your contract will be terminated." And Heyman's like, "You're not serious." "Oh, I'm serious." And we go back from commercial break. I didn't get a chance to talk about this because I didn't do the Raw Rebound on the episode that this happened. But WWE is doing a all-women's pay-per-view called WWE Evolution on October 28th from Long Island, New York. My 2 cents on the whole thing, I am happy for them. This is going to be very much historic in the making. And yes, live reactions will absolutely be a thing for this event. And I'm hoping it goes good. On that night, we have the Raw Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, and the finals of the Mae Young Classic. So pretty stacked card already. Also, I'm going to let you guys know, expect some title changes before then. Just as a FYI. I would expect some title changes. Alicia Fox, woman up backstage. Bliss is like, "Hey, Mickie James is injured," which I didn't even know Mickie James was injured. I don't know if that's true or not. Someone verify that. But hey, I'm gonna walk down to the ring tonight for a match against Natalya because her friend is Ronda Rousey and I want to get inside her head. And Alicia Fox is like, "Okay, cool." And so we get a match, Natalya and Alicia Fox. Nothing special about this match. Alicia Fox wins with a big boot to the face after Bliss hits Natalya in the face, and Alicia Fox picks up a victory. Her first win since she's came back on Raw. If you want to count the tag team disqualification victory against Sasha Banks and Bayley. Even though that wasn't a disqualification because Sasha Banks just cross-bodied Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox. I mean, if it was double counter, I can understand. Well, that's beside the point. That was 2 weeks ago. Rousey, after the match, attacks Bliss and Fox. Rowdy takes out Fox with her spinning Samoa drop maneuver. And then Fox gets back up and starts beating down on Ronda Rousey. And then Heyman and Lesnar, after that segment ends. Heyman and Lesnar backstage, and Heyman is trying to get Brock to go to the ring, and Lesnar is not having it. He's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to do that." Elias is coming up next afterwards, but before that, we get a backstage segment after the commercial break. Ronda Rousey says, "I don't want to wait till SummerSlam to get in action. Give me an opponent. I don't want to wait till SummerSlam." Angle's like, "Okay, fine. You're facing Alicia Fox next week on Raw from Jacksonville, Florida, in her first ever real televised matchup on Monday Night Raw. That's going to be historic. Ronda Rousey will be going one-on-one with Alicia Fox on Monday Night Raw. About time she's competing on the match on Raw." But, Ronda Rousey, Alicia Fox next week on Raw confirmed. We get Elias in the ring, trashes The Rock, trashes Pitbull. Lashley comes out, interrupts the concert, sings with Elias. Elias attacks from behind. Bobby Lashley gets the upper hand, and Elias runs away. I don't know if they're going to do a match with Elias and Bobby at SummerSlam. I just don't really see it. Because I think that at SummerSlam would be pointless for Bobby Lashley and pointless for Elias, and nobody really wins. We get Corbin backstage with Owens. Owens congratulates him, and he says that Owens is trying to make sure Braun Strowman doesn't cash in the briefcase. But Corbin's like, I mean, until the thing's on the line in SummerSlam, or unless you win it, it's still Braun's. And I'll get to kind of what I was thinking in a little bit later on. But we get a match, Jinder Mahal and Braun Strowman, although it's not a match, as Kevin Owens sneaks through the barricade sometime during the match, tries to steal the briefcase, but Braun chases after him. Owens tosses the briefcase to Sunil Singh, who gets waylaid by Braun Strowman, who grabs the briefcase, goes after Kevin Owens, but Jinder Mahal wins by countout, making the match pointless. Good job. And the mindset I had was like, in a swerve kind of world, only like Scott will understand this more than anyone else. But in a world where we had swerves, Braun would cash in tonight and become the Universal Champion. Spoiler, that did not happen, sadly. Boo. But we did have an interesting ending. I'll get to that later on. Angle is handed the phone by Corbin and call, and then put the phone down. Backstage, we get a segment with Mojo Rawley. Excuse me. We get a segment with Mojo Rawley saying, basically talking down to all the jobbers or mid-carders, being like, oh, I beat Tyler Breeze, I beat Mojo Rawley, I beat Mojo Rawley, no. I beat No Way Jose, I beat this idiot, pointing at Zack Ryder a while ago when I carried his ass. And then Bobby Roode came up and said, oh, do you have a problem with me? Mojo's like, well, what if I did, huh? What are you going to do about it, Bobby? And beat down brawl backstage, and leads to a match next week. Bobby Roode, Mojo Rawley next week. And don't you dare give Mojo Rawley the win, because Bobby Roode is worth pushing more than Mojo Rawley. We get a match, Apollo Crews versus Akam, and Apollo Crews dominates the match for the most part, honestly. And Crews wins with a roll-up, since he can't do the big sit-out powerbomb thing to Akam, apparently. Apollo Crews wins, and a pointless match. Good job. We come back from commercial break, and it is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. These two have a decent back-and-forth matchup. Rollins hits the stomp, but Dolph Ziggler beats down on Rollins, causes the disqualification. Seth Rollins wins by disqualification. Rollins ends up getting the upper hand on Ziggler and McIntyre at that time. Then after that, we get a replay from the Olympic segment, like we always do. And then Reigns is backstage with Angle and Corbin, and this is where, you know, officers come along and kick Roman Reigns out of the building, which is why he wasn't involved in the main event segment for once. But before then, he gets a little cheap shot on Baron Corbin and then leaves as, you know, as he should. Charlie Caruso is interviewing the B team in the ring after the commercial break. They talk about B standing for Dream, and I'm like, wait, no, Dream doesn't start with B. And they've got all these weird things that are like the B team stands for doing what you want to do and achieving your dreams. And I'm like, that doesn't start with B. Like, if you put that with like a word that starts with B, then it makes sense. But you always said that the B team stands for best team. Okay, but then the Leaders of the World come out again, and they interrupt the B team, and Charlie's like, nope, and leaves the ring. They talk for a little bit and say, oh, the B team will finally be deleted, but then the Revival come out and say, hey, you guys have had your shot. No more. How the hell are these idiots at the top of the tag team division? It's time for us to step up and take our spot at the very top. This leads to a brawl between the Revival and the B. Well, not really the B team, though. B team got in the middle of it a little bit, but between the Revival and the Deleters of World, the Deleters of Worlds get the upper hand, which leads to a tag team matchup after a commercial break between the Deleters of World and the Revival. Not bad tag team matchup overall, and the Revival end up picking up the victory over the Deleters of Worlds, perhaps setting up a future tag team title match at SummerSlam, because I would think maybe a triple threat tag team championship matchup at SummerSlam for the Raw tag team titles would be pretty cool. We get a Renee interviewing Seth Rollins, but not so fast. Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre beat him down some more, and get the upper hand this time, kind of evening out the thing for the whole night. We get back to the Riot Squad facing Bayley and Sasha Banks. I only saw it till the first commercial break. I didn't see the rest of the matchup because I had to go do something. But Bayley and Sasha Banks went with the backstabber to the Bayley to Bayley for the win. And Bayley and Sasha are still on the same page. No heel turn. Aww. We then get to another backstage segment as Paul Heyman is still pleading with Brock Lesnar to go out to the ring. And Lesnar is still angry at him. He says, go out there, do your job. I think he grabbed my the collarbone, I think. Yeah, he did, because I walked into that. Angle's out of the ring. He says, hey, man, come get Brock Lesnar right now. Heyman comes out, and he's like, he's not coming out here. And Angle's like, well, this is what a champion does, and explains that the champion's supposed to show up, supposed to do what he has to do to defend the championship. He says that Brock Lesnar is the worst Universal Champion. Preach, Kurt, preach. Heyman agrees, trying to perhaps maybe go Brock Lesnar coming out of sheer anger. But Angle's like, you're full of crap. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to suck up, and your contract's terminated. He even says it's terminated, but Brock Lesnar does come out, so I guess it's not really terminated since he did come out. And Lesnar grabs the mic. Uh-oh. Do you have a problem with me, Kurt? Do you have a problem with me, Corbin? F5 to Kurt Angle. What? Huh, this is weird. Corbin gets out of the ring. Lesnar and Heyman laugh, but then Lesnar grabs Heyman and pushes him down on the ground, choking him, and ending the show with the GM F5, the agent beaten up by its own advocate. Or no, its agent beaten down by the guy that he works for. And Raw ends. So they're really trying to do the whole Brock Lesnar doesn't care. And here's the thing. Brock does not care in real life. You don't have to play it in character. We already know this. The fact that you try to do this on the sole fact of getting Roman Reigns cheered, it doesn't work. Everyone has that mindset already. They already know, hey, Lesnar's a piece of shit. Hey, he's a lazy piece of shit. Hey, he's the worst Universal Champion of all time. This is all facts here. You don't need to play that in character to try to get Roman Reigns cheered because you've tried that the whole time, or everyone's got that mentality the whole time, and guess what? It doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It probably won't work. Well, maybe. I might be wrong because I think I heard we want Roman chants. I might be wrong on this one, but everyone knows, and WWE should know, hey, this is temporary for right now. If Braun Strowman goes and cashes in the Money in the Bank, we're going to cheer our asses off. And this is facts. But all in all, that is all for Monday Night Raw. I'm going to look at the comments real quick, get back with you guys, and then we will wrap up the Raw Rebound. And then comments, chat. Don't know if there is or not. We'll find out in a sec. What are your thoughts on the people bitching about their all women's pay-per-view? People bitching. Okay, here are two categories. Okay, if you're bitching about people, you know, about WWE constantly promoting it, I see your side. I really do. Here's the thing, though. This is WWE we're talking about. This is WWE, the same people that promoted their own WWE network 22 times in one night 4 years ago. What do you expect? They didn't do it as badly tonight as they did most other nights. I don't think, anyway. Maybe I missed some stuff. But as far as people bitching about an all-women's pay-per-view, guys, times are changing. Shut the hell up and let them have the moment. For real, like, they deserve their moment in the sun. Hey, men, there's probably men bitching about this, okay? I could be wrong, but hey, men, guess what? A woman could do anything a man could do, if not more things than a man could do sometimes in some cases. Oof, pipe bomb right there, guys. That's the truth. We're done with the days of gender segregation where men do all the work and the women don't do any work. No. Well, actually, I should rephrase that. I apologize. We're not in the days where men go to work every day and the women are just housewives. No. We have gone past that, okay? WWE has evolved from bra and panties matches all the way to legitimate 30-minute Iron Man matches. Royal Rumbles, Chambers, Money to Make ladder matches. They are now in the same sort of standpoint as the men. Like, it's no longer at a point where, oh, the men only get to do these things, but the women don't. No. Everything in the WWE that men have done, women have done. And that's just the way it is. So deal with it. You're used to men usually getting the majority of the pay-per-views, if not all of them. So this ain't gonna hurt you. Guarantee it ain't gonna hurt you. So keep your mouth shut. As far as Drake Maverick, not Drew Maverick, Drake Maverick as 205 Live GM, I think he's doing an excellent job. Which, by the way, guys, if you did not hear, there will be a Cruiserweight Championship matchup at SummerSlam. Cedric Alexander defending against the #1 contender, Drew Gulak. And 205 tomorrow, Cedric will go one-on-one with one of Drew Gulak's friends, Brian Kendrick. But overall, I think I've covered everything in the comments. There's only 2 comments from Scott asking questions. Always appreciated, Scott. But remember, if you like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts on Raw in the comments down below, or any other questions. All opinions are welcomed, of course. Overall, this Raw was pretty meh. It was pretty meh. You know, it had its moments, of course, but it's just been meh. You know, nothing really. A lot of pointless matches, but the segments were meaningful, at least. To an extent, except for the Elias Bobby Lashley thing, unless they're doing a match with Elias Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam, which please don't do that. But overall, that is going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, guys, we are a group of wrestling fans who are passionate about what we watch. That is professional wrestling. But, as always, we're not afraid, whether it's WWE, whether it's New Japan, Ring of Honor, TNA, it doesn't matter. We are not afraid to shoot straight from the hip. But for now, guys, I must bid you a farewell and adieu. Goodbye. Mwah, and good night. Wait, thing's frozen. Hold on. My hangout's frozen. Okay, we good? We good? Okay, I'm going to do that over again. Okay. Any comments? No? Okay. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do this whole thing all over again. We are a group of wrestling fans, passionate about what we talk about, passionate about the sport of professional wrestling, but whether it's WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor, NXT, TNA, no matter what the case may be, we are not afraid to shoot straight from the hip. But for now, I must bid you all adieu. Goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bang!